the one of you. It's coming out.
Do you like scary movies?
I fucking love scary movies. That's my entire life is horror movies and horror everything. Horror books.
What the fuck's that line?
Which one?
Have you seen...
What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, that's the one. Scream.
Oh my God, dude.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, and then she goes on to talk about... she talks about Friday the 13th, but then she goes... No, the one with the guy with knives for fingers. And she's like, because it's a Wes Craven film, so they're going over, Wes Craven movie. And in fact, it's funny. The guy who owns New Line Cinema, Bob. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking. His wife is the woman in all the Insidious movies. Bob Shea, Robert Shea. There you go. He's the janitor. He plays the janitor in Scream, and he's wearing a Freddy outfit. He's got the hat on and the sweater.
Interesting.
It's funny. Yeah, and they call him Fred. If Henry Winkler is like, not you, Fred. He's like, that's what he says. We're recording, huh? Mm-hmm. Welcome to another episode of Thank You For Your Services podcast, the podcast dedicated to the working world, the service industry, and sometimes the military. Today's episode, we have a very special guest joining us. We will have a phone call from him in a little bit, but before that, we'd like to go over, if you would like to write into the show, you can email us at thankyouforyourservices@gmail.com. Your spelled U-R. Once again, that is thankyouforyourservices@gmail.com. And if you would like to follow us on Instagram, that is at thanksforyourservices_podcast.
That's right.
My name is Matt.
Tommy.
Across from me is Tommy Two Streets. And we have quite a show for you this week. This is a very special guest. This is, his name is Kevin, and he does a horror podcast, which is my favorite podcast, called The Wicked Horror Show. And they, this week's episode of their show, they actually had my band play on it. They showed a music video for us, and they talked about our cassette tape that's available now on fmmfangs.bandcamp.com. You can find us on iTunes and Spotify. The name of the band is Fat Monster Matt, if you like 80s goth and kind of like jock jammy music. Yeah, I had to explain to my wife what jock jams were. She was like, I've never heard that term. I was like, really?
You hear them in sports stadiums.
You sure do. And I think they were a big part of our youth growing up in the 90s.
Well, they're still on the radio now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pump the jam, pump it up.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard that song?
A lot. Quite a bit, actually, especially because wasn't that in Deadpool?
I don't want
I can't remember.
But
how about
now?
Rhythm is a dancer. Yeah. I love that. That's by a band called Snap. They're really cool, like old
the
school
song
hip-hop group.
we went over this last week. The song "Rhythm is a Dancer" is their song, and I was confused because I was confusing it with the "Rhythm of the Night" song by LaBouche.
The rhythm of the night.
Because
in the morning light. That one?
Nah, because the singer says
that is the song.
Rhythm is a dancer. In the verse, it's a soul's companion. You can feel it everywhere.
You can feel it everywhere.
Yeah, that one.
Rhythm is on.
She doesn't use that affectation, but it's like that. You're so melodic.
I am very melodic.
You're a singer. What can I say?
Barely. But yeah, I have a lot on my mind this week. But
me too.
Would you like to go first, Tommy Two Streets? Oh, we didn't even write our notes down in front of us. This is all going off of my head right now.
This is all off the dome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll start off easy because we're waiting on Kevin's call.
Yeah, sure.
Still, we'll be back shortly when he calls in. But,
yeah, we might have to interrupt our current conversation. Yeah.
Do you have any funny license plates this week?
No, I haven't really driven much this week. I've been home a lot. Because
you didn't start the gig?
No, I start on Monday.
Okay.
This Monday, I start my new job. So I really haven't been out much. I've been on my bicycle a lot. I bike everywhere when I can. But I haven't really noticed any license plate. One guy yelled at another guy today when the light turned green.
Cool.
I think he called him some form of a slur from his window, but I was just trying to get the hell out of there.
Hey, you knucklehead.
Yeah, sure, knucklehead. Yeah, I wish it was knucklehead. Yeah,
Me too.
I sure wish it was Knucklehead.
To hear an innocuous slur like that, or innocuous name like that out loud would be so funny.
So
Much better. I have a
Most
couple.
definitely. Okay, go for it.
See if you can guess this one.
Yeah, sure.
Mutheru.
Mother you?
That's all I can think of too. I thought it was weird.
Mothra?
Eh,
It's not Mothra.
not.
Oh my god, I would love to get the license plate Mothra.
you should try.
I really should. I should do it all like real Jersey or something. Like MAWTHRA.
You can just
Mothra.
I bet straight up Mothra is available.
You think regular Mothra?
Yep. There's a database.
Maybe.
There's a database on the DMV website where you can check.
How much does it cost to have a vanity plate?
Um,
Because all these people that we point out, I mean,
There's a ton.
They're paying a certain amount every
There's
year.
so many.
Right?
I
Like, just
wanna
to have
say-
one that says like the dude or some dumb shit.
It's funny.
Yeah,
My old boss had a vanity plate. I think it's more than $40, and it's got to be less than $100
A year? Or are we talking a month?
a year.
Really? I could have a Mothra license plate
It's
for
an
less than $100 a year.
I think so. Don't quote me. I know it's an annual fee.
I'm going to the DMV and saying Tommy Two Streets told me to tell you.
They'll say this. Classic DMV. They'll go, "Did you check the website?"
Ugh, I know. And I'm like, why would I check the website? I'm calling you.
Because you checked the website
I
first.
hate it so much, dude.
Nobody's embraced Gen Z technology more than places that require customer service.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Have you tried the chat feature?
Can I talk about an experience that happened to me? So I never have once ever complained at a restaurant about anything. I still didn't. But this happened to me. There's a new place that opened up around here. It was very good. I won't say the name of it yet because the food was amazing.
Sounds like it deserves a plug.
No, it not for this. So
When you have a better experience, we'll plug
no,
it.
no. I had a great experience, but this was a very like silly thing that just was part of the customer service world.
Can't wait for this.
So my wife and I are both lactose intolerant. I mean, it's going to be a very bad day if either of us have regular dairy. And so I ordered this milkshake that was supposed to be like almond milk, and it was like a bunch of healthy stuff in there with my breakfast. And she brings out the milkshake and goes, "You don't have a dairy allergy, do you? They didn't have any almond milk." And then she handed, and I go, "No, I don't have a dairy allergy." And she goes,
Lactose
"Okay."
intolerance is that.
So
It is
not
an
really.
allergy.
That's not really an allergy. That's more of a like a, what do they call that? Like a GI problem, I guess, wouldn't it be?
It is technically an allergic reaction from
So,
your GI.
well, anyway, it was just
Oh my
funny
God,
to me.
This guy.
Well, it was just funny to me because I still drank it because I didn't want to complain.
You motherfucker.
But I only had like half of it, and I was fine. I was maybe a little farty, but but I'm usually a little farty party. So, but I don't know. Wouldn't it have made more sense to ask me before you made the dairy milkshake? Or no? Am I being too picky?
Yes, they absolutely should have said before they made anything, "Hey, we're out of the thing you ordered. Do you want something else?"
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was correct in that, but I wasn't sure, and that's why I like to talk about it on these things. And like I said, it wasn't like the server's fault or anything. It was just, it was odd to me because I feel like that's just never really happened to me before.
It's an odd
Typically,
choice.
they'll go, "Hey, like you said, we're out of this thing.
Would you like this?
Would you like this instead?" And I'd be like, "Oh, no, thank you. I can't really have dairy." But anyway, I was fine. I mean, I'll have dairy every once in a while if I like on pizza. If it's a place like I just can't yank all the cheese off, like I'll say screw it and eat it. And I'm usually like in pain for a little bit of the night, and and then I blow it all out of my bum. So in a violent manner.
All from Mothra and the DMV.
Yeah, I would say my wife has it a little worse than me. She really cannot have cheese, anything with dairy.
Oh, she sounds like a goddamn tugboat up there.
My wife? She is, man. She's basically the Titanic. And I was the iceberg that made her crash into this thing we call marriage.
Oh my god! I was literally drinking when you said that.
That wasn't even that funny.
It doesn't
You know
matter.
what? You're
It's
right.
timing.
It was fucking hilarious.
Fuck! I almost spit taked all over this fucking setup.
Can I talk about what's on my mind, or do you want to go first? Actually, you go because I just talked.
I did one license plate so far.
Oh yeah.
There was. See how pointless this segment is. This segment sucks.
What, the license plate?
I'm done.
It's hilarious. Go on.
I don't want to.
No, I want to hear it.
I saw.
I'm here for you.
All right, I'll bring it back up to speed with a funny one.
Okay, give it.
It wasn't a license plate, but it was a sticker.
Okay.
It said, "I'm so gay, I can't drive straight."
Oh my god, dude!
I love
that shit. Do you ever watch Billy on the Street?
Yeah.
Okay, he's hilarious. I discovered that after I would watch him in that show.
Man, for $1.
Yeah.
Do you know John Oliver?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yes.
John Oliver?
But do you remember when he was going up to people and going, "Excuse me, sir, are you gay?" And he's
Yes.
like, and the one guy just goes, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "Okay." That made me laugh so
Yes.
fucking hard, dude. That guy is so funny.
I love Billy Eichner.
He's very, very funny. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Shout out to Billy Eichner. If you ever want to come on the podcast,
Open invitation.
Yeah, anytime. Literally anytime.
I'm just waiting on that email. I know you got the email.
I will literally blow you if you come on the podcast.
And another sticker, not a license plate, was on the back of a dump truck. It was a big ass fucking dump truck.
An actual dump truck.
Yeah.
Thought you meant.
No, I wish.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it said, "I heart good dumps."
God, I do too. Why do men spend so much time in the bathroom when they poop?
I don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
With a good one.
Normally I do, and I've been told that it's a typical male thing.
Oh, it's very ritualistic if you have a normal GI system. Some of us
I
are
poop
more
a lot.
Some of us are more privileged than others. So.
Oh, you're talking about me because all my poops are solid?
Yeah.
That's just called a good diet. What are you eating?
I have a great diet. It's my fucking digestive system has a fast lane as opposed to other people.
I forgot.
That's a story for another
Now I
episode.
feel like a jerk.
Well, guess what?
Tom had an operation.
Yeah, I had a bit of a operation.
Yeah.
Those are finger quotes that.
Yeah. It was. Hey, man. I'll tell you what, Tom. I've known you.
Here he goes.
Most of my life. You have survived some crazy shit.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think we've ever really talked about it on the podcast.
Nah.
I mean, it's for it. You're right. Probably for another day.
It's for a better episode.
But
a better.
Are you about to say a better episode? This is. Oh, here we go. This
a
is
dedicated
Kevin.
episode. All right, we'll be right back.
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
All
Fuck
right.
yeah.
That's
I hear him clear as a
awesome.
bell.
So I'm Matt here. This is my voice. I have the real annoying voice. And then Tom is the other guy with the normal voice.
What up?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up,
man.
fool?
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. We're actually recording right now. If you don't mind, we just jump into it.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Awesome. So for everybody listening, this is Kevin Crook. He runs the Wicked Horror Show podcast, Black and White Fright, and a new one called Violence Buffet, where they make their friend who hasn't watched any movies sit through extremely violent movies.
Oh,
and
I love that.
It's so funny, dude. Kevin's podcast, The Wicked Horror Show, has been like my favorite podcast for the past couple years. When I was deployed over in Kosovo, those guys got me through some hard times because we couldn't leave base because of COVID, and I was constantly depressed and just working out and listening to Wicked Horror Show all the time and just trying to make music. And literally every suggestion that they've ever had, I've gone and checked out, and I've looked up all the actors and directors they've had on. They have on all kinds of people. So for those of you listening that maybe are also into horror movies, go check his podcast out, The Wicked Horror Show. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, of course, man. And I appreciate everything you've been doing for me and my music. And that's just super cool. I'm glad. I got so nervous messaging you because I literally hate meeting anybody I'm a fan of.
Nah, you gotta shoot your shot, bro.
I know, dude, because I get nervous because you meet your heroes and then you're like, oh man, that person sucked. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm messaging Kevin. He seems like a cool dude. And they always talk about like, hey, hit us up on this and that. And I'm like, they'll never get back to me. And he literally got back to me within a few hours, and that was rad.
Yeah,
so
fucking sweet.
yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. You're the man.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you mean to tell me, like, if you have like a friend or a person who's like, yeah, I don't really do I don't do the gore stuff. I like horror movies. Sure, I like a slasher, but I don't like all that gore stuff. And then you sit them through like Irreversible or like Salo or something.
He's pretty much like he's younger than all of us, but he he's all about like comedies and stuff like that. So we just try to find the most ridiculous like clips from just whatever. Like just extremely brutal or just really weird like karate movies or whatever, just overly violent. And we do like a ranking at the end, and thankfully, my suggestions have always ranked the highest. So
hell yeah, that's why you're the chief.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, so real quick, so this podcast, we always talk about the service industry because I was a barber for 12 years. I literally just got out of the business. And my buddy Tommy over here, he's been working in grocery stores,
restaurants.
He's had a million jobs just like me. And so we like to just talk about work and we complain about work. So real quick, I have like a list of questions for you because I know you don't have too much time tonight because you got to go do one of your podcasts, which is mad respect, dude. So what do you do currently for work?
I actually work in collections. So
hell yeah, me too.
Do you really?
Not for a collection agency per se, but I do accounts receivable for a construction, like a construction subcontractor. So I'm the one who's collecting on shit.
Oh, I work for a federal credit union. So like I call people and we're gonna like take their cars away, or even people that are gonna lose their house. So yeah, every day's a pleasure. I get yelled at all day long. So
that's another thing I did for a few years. I worked in banking too, but specifically for 2 credit unions, and I almost got into the collections field too because we had just a guy who did the collections too. So I knew that guy well. Yeah.
Yeah, and before this, I did loss prevention for 13 years.
Oh my God, that's a rough job.
Now that's a gig.
It was fun. It was fun, but it was also dangerous. But there's less chance over the phone. There's less chance I'm going to get punched in the face than there is.
Yeah.
What's crazy about loss prevention is like, even if you catch the people, even if they run away off the property, you can't do anything, right?
I have questions immediately. Keep going.
No, please.
It really depends. So the whole thing, especially in the state of Massachusetts, is that you can't touch them unless they touch you. So my boss would be like, all right, so then just make them touch you. So
fair enough.
So I like this guy. I'm a human door. So like if you want to try to get by me, you have to push by me. And then the second you do, I'm just gonna like grab you and carry you through the store. But yeah, it was fun. But I did have knives pulled on me. I had a gun flashed at me once. I had a needle pulled on me once.
Woo.
And so it was it was. I mean, it was a good. And to be honest with you, it was a great job. But I'm getting older, and I'm just like, all right, I have to consider my wife and like my family, and whatever. So I'm like, I got to do something different.
And now you get to do it on the phone, which is like you said, 100% less chance for physical contact. So sign me up.
So, so what was the first job you ever had?
I worked at a department store called The Fair. It was basically like a Walmart before there was Walmarts in this part of the country. I worked in like the home, like the housewares section.
So you've done retail for a while.
Oh yeah, before working for financial institutions, I've done retail my whole life.
Yep. Same. I did almost the same exact thing.
So I'm sorry. You said you got fired from that job?
I did because like I was in high school. I think I might have been a freshman in high school, and
all right, I
bought tickets to a concert, and before I bought tickets for the concert, I requested the day off. They gave it to me. I went and bought tickets. Then my boss asked me what show I was going to, and I told her. And then she went and bought tickets, then took my day off away from me.
Whoa! What a snake!
Wait, who was the band?
I have a history of going to see the opening band and just leaving. So
yeah.
Okay.
it was Primus opening for U2.
Oh,
and
man.
I would have did the same thing. Yeah.
I would have lost a job I would have lost a job for a Primus show, no doubt.
And this was back when Seeds of Cheese was like the album they were touring for. So this was like really early, and yeah, I'm old. So I don't know if you guys realize that. I'm an older guy, but yeah, it was worth it. And not to mention too, I was making $4.25 an hour, and so like the tickets cost more than I was going to be making for that shift. So I'm like, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Whatever. Exactly.
What's your favorite job you ever had?
It's tough because they're all jobs. They're called jobs for a reason.
Yeah, no, I understand.
To be honest with you, it was probably the loss prevention job.
Cool.
It really got me like I had to think outside the box, like because criminals are very smart and like you have to figure out a way around what they're doing. So like they'll rip you off a bunch and then you have to figure out like, hey, this is what they're doing. I got to figure out a way to catch them now. And I had to go to court all the time, so I never lost a case. So, but it was yeah.
That's very interesting because I had one of my clients at the barbershop was loss prevention for years too, and I really only heard the like shitty part of that. I never heard anybody say how cool it was and trying to figure out like the mindset of criminals. I literally have just never heard that point of view before.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was for TJX, so like there was like a little sub store for TJ Maxx that was called AJ Wright, and none of the stores were in good areas, and that's where I worked at for the majority of the time I was there. So yeah, it was rough, but at the same time too, it's it was fun. Like there's like a total adrenaline rush, like when you catch somebody, and like your day is just made after you catch one.
That must be a great feeling, yeah.
After that, I would be chilling the rest of the shift too. I'd be like, don't ask me for shit.
Yeah.
but the thing is though, is that like a lot of times, like you would end up catching multiple in a day. You'd go like a month or two without catching anybody. Then, like because you were like in the zone, you were like catch like a ton of people. So it was good. Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a workaholic or a lifeaholic? I know that's like the cheesiest, dumbest thing, but I thought that was a kind of interesting question because you are a man of many hobbies, obviously. Tommy, did you see he 3D printed me a bunch of stuff too? And like,
is that what that is over there?
Yeah, that's from him. So are you more of like a person who really puts all their time and energy into their job, or are you more of like a person who's like, I just do my job for my hobbies?
Yeah, it's the second one. I pretty much just do my job so I can pay for what I want to do like after work. Like it's never been my life, and I hopefully it never will be unless it's like on my own terms. Like unless it's podcasting or doing whatever, like that would be awesome, but it's almost impossible unless you're Joe Rogan. But
it's not impossible.
Yeah,
right.
Fucking Joe Rogan, I can't stand that shit.
You don't need to.
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad he agrees. That Joe Rogan is like all the stuff I learned in the 7th grade that everyone is just now discovering fucking right now. That shit drives me nuts. If you could have any job, what would your dream job be?
It would probably be to either work like professionally in podcasting or maybe like even getting into like directing or something like that. Yeah.
Dude, that is what I wanted to do when I was younger, and I graduated high school during the recession, and I knew I couldn't go to film school, so I cut hair instead and then joined the Army. But I've always wanted to work in movies. In fact, I think I was messaging you back and forth. My buddy and I are about to start production on a short film, which I will definitely be sending you, called The Locker Room. But that leads me into my next question, because I thought you would want to work in film. If you could work with a director, any director, who would you work with?
That's a tough one. It all depends on what genre I'm going for. Like I don't know. I'm a big Tarantino fan.
Sure.
But at the same time too, like Tobe Hooper has, even though he's gone, Tobe Hooper like directed 2 of my favorite horror movies. So
sure.
Well,
and you've always said Texas Chainsaw is your favorite movie of all time, right? The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep, from '74. Yep. Yeah, it's my favorite horror movie.
Oh, it's a perfect movie.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect movie.
It's kind of depending on the genre. I have other favorites, but yeah, as far as horror movies, I just think it's great. And I got to meet Gunnar a bunch of times, and
oh, that's awesome.
Like Yeah, the company TJX that I worked for, his girlfriend or wife worked for them as well, and I was her auditor for a little bit. So like,
Dude, that's wild.
When he would sign things instead of "I know where you live," he would sign "I know where you work." And yeah, he was a good dude. And I actually the last con he did, I was there, and I got to meet him again, and I got a tattoo like the day before, just so I could show him, and then. About a month later, he passed. But then also at the same con, I ended up meeting a director that was directing a movie that Gunnar wrote, and then I ended up going to the set of that movie, and we did it. Like me and my cousin did a documentary about the making of the movie.
Damn, that's cool as shit.
The movie looked so much better than it actually came out, so it's unfortunate. But, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Have you guys ever heard of the movie Death House?
Death House?
Yeah.
Sounds so
It's
familiar.
ringing a bell. I don't know why.
It takes place in a prison, and like Kane Hodder is like this dude who's like fighting his way up. Like it's like multiple, like 13 levels of this prison. But it's got like everyone in it. Like Dee Wallace is in it.
So it's like a horror version of the Raid Redemption.
Well, they were calling it the Expendables of horror. Like like everyone is in it. Like Tony Todd's in it. Like everyone's in it.
Bill Moses is in that. I did hear about that.
Oh,
yeah. Bill Moses is in it. He's a good dude as well, and he also like remembers people. So if you ever get a chance to meet Bill Moseley, if you meet him a couple times, he'll end up remembering you.
I would love that.
Which makes you feel like $1 million. Makes you feel like it's fantastic.
That's funny you say that. I remember you talking about that a while ago because he's got a band that's almost, because I was in a rockabilly band for years, and I remember his band playing like around that time and putting out records. Around that same time. Yes, the Cornbugs, that's right. Because they're kind of like Southern culture on this. Yeah, I know. Well, they kind of reminded me of like a weirder Southern culture on the Skids kind of a thing. I just thought it was funny. I remember you talking about that like a couple episodes ago. I would say for me, I thought you might dig this. I think my favorite director right now is Steven Kastansky, the guy that did Psycho Goreman. He also he did a lot of stuff. He did the Leprechaun Returns, and he did Manborg. If you've ever seen Manborg, which is hilarious. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Cool. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think his sense of humor is perfect. I just like everything he does. I find to be like the funniest thing possible. Yeah.
I actually am planning on pulling clips from Psycho Goreman for Violence Buffet, because it's humorous, but it's also extremely gory. So
it's very
on my list.
Did you watch the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards? They won for best special effects, practical effects.
Oh, nice. No, I didn't know that. I haven't watched that. I've been super busy, but I saw some pictures like Felissa. Felissa was part of it, right? Felissa Rose.
Yes.
I bet she posted some pics and stuff of that. She's awesome.
She is.
You got to meet her. You got to meet her recently, right?
I did get to meet her. She was the fucking best person I ever met. I've had some really good experiences at horror conventions. I've been going. You're a little older than us, and like, don't you remember going to the horror cons when there would be like 100 people, and it was we were all a bunch of sweaty nerds and like walking around trying to just trying to meet like our favorite people. Now it's thousands and thousands of people, which is cool for the vendors and everything, but it is a little bit, it's like harder to meet people now and stuff. But I had some really good experiences. I met Christine Clubb, do you remember the girl that wore the Slayer t-shirt in Rob Zombie's Halloween?
Yeah. Yep.
So one time I went to a horror convention. This is back in like 2009, and I get there and my debit card, I found out, had gotten hacked. So I didn't have any money, and I used to have like leopard print hair, and like I always wore like my punk vest and shit. And anyway, I waited in line with my buddy so he could go meet her because he had like a big crush on her. She just said, do you want a picture too, basically, to me? And I said, hey, I'm sorry, I just don't have any money. She pulled me aside, took pictures with me, and then talked to me for 45 minutes, and then didn't even charge me for anything. She was like the coolest person ever. And I've always wanted to meet her again so I could actually pay for, a picture or something with her. And I always thought she was super cool. So yeah, I always appreciate your stories and stuff. And I know you've had Felissa on your show before.
Yeah, it's always been like really weird technical issues. Like she calls from her phone, or like she's really tough. Like her and Hannah Freeman, for some reason, they can't figure it out.
For those of you who don't know who Hannah Freeman is, she's the girl in the first VHS film who plays the succubus in the first part of that anthology.
I haven't watched that in a minute.
The I Like You girl who was face split open. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, that's the best. Well, the first one has a couple of really creepy ones. That the one. Where the guy,
that's the most memorable one. For me, that's
I would
the most
agree.
memorable one.
Yeah, and then that one vacation one where they're in the vacation in the hotel room, and the one that one always freaked me the fuck out. Okay, what did you just say, Tommy?
My girlfriend made me sit through number 3. I think.
Are you talking about?
VHS 3.
VHS Viral, is that the one you were thinking of?
Maybe.
There was a new one that came out called VHS 94, brand new.
That wasn't horrible.
No, I thought that one was good. 3's trash. 1 and 2 are good. I know Ty West usually does he does a segment in each one. He's from Wilmington, by the way. I know I messaged you that either last week or something like that. But yeah, he's from Wilmington, which I think is super cool. I wish he hung around here. Okay, so you're a big fan of classic horror movies, as am I. The Universal Monsters as a kid is what got me into horror in the first place. Would you rather be stuck in a room with the Bride of Frankenstein or the Gill Man?
Probably the Bride. It's weird because even though she's playing, whatever, I've always thought she was adorable.
She's gorgeous, yeah.
I think it's that little butt chin. I don't know, it's something about the butt chin. But I'm just like, oh my god, she's so cute. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, no, she's dead. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
fair enough.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny she plays Mary Shelley and the bride in the film. I always thought that was kind of neat. Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein are just such different films, and I like Bride better, but yeah, I always thought that was goofy. It just didn't make any sense. It was like they were breaking the fourth wall almost. But I picked both of those because they're both non-vocal roles, and I thought you'd like that one.
Well, Frankenstein is my favorite of the Universal classic monsters, and it's weird because I would compare it Frankenstein to even Leatherface and even Jason. Well, maybe not as much Jason, but with Frankenstein, he's just a monster who's been created, and he's just trying to survive basically. And it's with Leatherface, he's a misunderstood guy who just this is the way he was raised. With Jason, it's a different story. Just a big oaf that
Yeah, I mean, do you have any questions, Tommy?
No, if that's all the questions you had prepared, let's have some fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, he only has maybe I don't know.
Oh, you got a hard out?
7 more minutes or so.
If I can wrap up around 8:00, that would be. My wife would appreciate that.
Yeah, seriously, no problem. I have a wife as well, and I need to spend time with her too. But no, other than that, I mean, do you have any complaints at the moment with your current job that you would like to get on the air and off your chest?
Anything you want to get off your chest? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're calling into a financial institution, right? Any bank, if you're the person, you're the member or the customer of that institution, have your information when you call in. It drives me crazy. People call how can I help you? They're look up my account. I'm like, do you have your member number or your account number? Why would I have that?
Oh my fucking god! You just unlocked a whole not a room but a house full of memories for me. Do you have your member number? Can't you look it up?
Who are you?
Right.
Yeah.
No, they don't like the fact. Well, I just told you I'm me. I'm like, okay, but if you were a thief, you could also do the same thing.
Okay, me.
Yeah, and then there's one of the other things too is people are very I'm not going to give you my member number. I'm not going to give you my account number. I'm like, okay, I can look it up by your social, and then you just give me the social.
All the time. And people who refuse to remember their member numbers will just walk up to you. If you're at the line situation, if you're sitting with the other people, they'll just walk up with their social and they'll just start reciting it. What number are you saying right now?
Do you remember that infomercial of that thing that was we protect your social security number so well.
LifeLock.
Here's mine on the commercial.
Yeah,
was that what it was? And then he got hacked.
He drove. I think it was LifeLock or something like that. They took out ad space on trucks and they drove around with the guy's social on
what
the
a
trucks.
maroon.
That's smart. But that's the biggest thing. And then they also with people, because I deal with people that are obviously in a bad way, and they'll call up and you're like, oh, I can't make payments for like 6 months. Just make that happen. It's like, that's not going to happen. And then they're upset that it's affecting their credit score, and so they're going to refuse to pay because we're reporting it to their credit, which makes zero sense, because that's exactly the opposite of what you should be doing if you want to fix your credit score.
Yep. At the very least, you got to be making your minimum payments on time.
Exactly.
Have either of you guys ever written down somebody's social that you just fucking hated, and you were like, just in case, one day? You never did that,
I absolutely did not, and I'll tell you why. Because those are the kind of people who come in all the time, and as soon as you see them, you remember their account number, you remember their fucking bullshit stories they always come up with. It's the shitty members that stick with you way more than the cool ones. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we always have members that all you have to do is say a name. Like, I'll be if there's this big argument going on, I'll just be like, I'll say this member's name, and they're like, "Oh, don't bring her up. Every time you do, she'll call in."
Like, "Oh, you're acting like a real Mrs. So and So right now," and they're like, and then all your coworkers are like, "Oh boy."
Yeah. Then there's the new people, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then we get to go through the whole story, and it's people's mind off of things. But no, I don't know. It's fun.
I'll wrap that segment up with this last thing. I swear, I was still working for a credit union when COVID shut down everything except for essentials, and we were deemed one of those things, so all we did was drive-through service. So, those problem members, you start to recognize them by their car. And there was one member who we all of us hated dealing with so much that now when I see that car on the road, I'm still like, is that her? I'm like, shit.
The best part about the whole COVID thing is that we were considered essential as well, but I don't work in any branches. I've never even been into a branch of the company that I work for.
Nice.
So they just said, okay, you're just going to work from home from now on. So I've worked from home since that's all happened. We go in every once in a while, to do mail or whatever, but I'm also dealing with some medical crap. So my doctor doesn't want me driving long distances because I can't feel my legs, everyone.
Yeah.
Good times. But so I got that note, so I don't have to go into the office. So my commute's about 8 steps to the right, and then
cool.
Then I'm there. Yeah, and then I have a wireless headset, so I can just as I'm taking a call, I'll just go make coffee and let the dog out or whatever.
There you go.
So now,
it works.
Now, as Wicked Horror Show, I'll wrap this up right now. But are you guys going to be appearing anywhere, at any conventions coming up, where people can find you?
Yeah, I know I'm going to be at a convention in upstate New York. It's just called the Horror Sci-Fi Con.
Okay.
I don't know the exact date because I'm awesome. As far as I know, I'm the only one. It's we may get this guy Angel, who's been on the show a bunch, as a third mic.
Oh yeah.
He may go up with me as well, but right now it's just me, and that's not going to really work out that great. Because I have to watch the booth, and I don't know what they're going to have me do, because when I used to do a lot of the cons before COVID happened, I used to moderate panels all the time too. So
cool.
That's something I like to do when I'm there. I'm not going to brag too much, but I got to do one for Elvira.
Cool? Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
And then when that one was done, I had to run down the hallway and do one for Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. And
very cool.
And it was cool. Yeah, but that's just the fun thing. I've done ones with Tony Todd, and
Nice.
It's
Speaking of Death House.
He's the man. He's the man. Here's a quick story, and then I'll let you guys go.
No.
So Matt, you probably heard this because I tell everyone, because it's just one of those things I'm going to tell everyone until I'm dead.
Of course.
I met Tony at a bunch of cons. And we would talk here and there. And I told him one time that I like to go to plays with my wife, and he remembered that, and he was in a play in Hartford, Connecticut, which is only a state away, and he contacted me and had tickets waiting for me to go to the play.
Wow.
And I went, and then when I was done, he was waiting for me in the lobby.
What?
And I was I was terrified. I didn't know what to do because I'm like, I'm going to ruin this whole thing if I hang out with him. I'm going to ruin it. So he's like, oh, yeah, so what's going on? I'm like, I got to work tomorrow. And I just left.
Oh, dude. Wait, I have heard that story before, but jeez.
Yeah. And then, but then, like, I've seen him since, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really sorry. It's really weird. I'm like, he doesn't understand. Like, you know, Candyman especially, like, whenever I'm going to meet somebody, or not meet somebody, but a change in job or a change in something to do with my life, I have, like, a nightmare that I'm meeting this person and they're shooting bees out of their mouth, and that's part of that is because of the Candyman. So I'm like, this has been something since I've seen the movie. Like, so you've like left a mark on me. So you have to understand it. You know, it's not just like, oh, some dude from a movie. You know. But,
oh my god, dude!
He's awesome. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he's a really good guy.
He met my former English teacher a bunch of times because she would go to cons too. She said he was a fucking sweetheart, and he was super cool.
Oh man,
I highly recommend it. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have any cons in your area or anything like that.
We have New Jersey, because we're in Delaware, so we have New Jersey Horror Con in Atlantic City, and then we also have Monster Mania, which I've been going to since like 2006 or 7 or something. So
Tony goes to those now. Like, Tony goes to Monster Mania, and he goes to Chiller, and he goes to the New Jersey Horror Fest. So yeah, he's there a lot. I've been to Monster Mania a couple times. It's a good show, but it's packed.
It's way too packed now. And one of my best friends, he does all the artwork for Chiller, so he always has a table there. He designs all the pamphlets and all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, he always used to be right next to Zachary before Zachary died, obviously. But he got I'm a record collector, and I have a Zachary record I picked up at the farmer's market for $1 because they didn't know what they had, and he got it signed for me by Zachary and stuff. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. Kevin, plug your show. Give us all your stuff. How can we find you?
Just Wicked Horror Show. We're live Tuesday nights on Facebook and YouTube.
Nice.
The week after it's live, the audio is up on wherever you can find podcasts. And that show is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Go to thedorkening.com for more information on all the shows on that network. There's a lot.
Will you spell that for me? What is that?
Dorkening. So it's DORKNING. Dorkening, like
everyone. We'll put it in the show notes because I have all the info.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll link you.
So it was actually that was a network that I started with my cousin, and I kind of stepped down because things were getting too crazy. And then I'm part of Black and White Fright, which is just a regular audio podcast, and Violence Buffet, and some other stuff might be coming up. There's some stuff in the works. I may have some other stuff coming up, and Oh yeah, that's all this wherever. And my Instagram is aknuckle on Instagram. I mostly just post about the show. Every once in a while, I'll post something else. But
yeah, do you know the Cinepunks, or do you know Horror Business?
I don't. Cinepunks sounds familiar.
Those are really good friends of mine. They're right up your alley. So
yeah?
Kevin, thank you so much for fucking making the time and hanging out for us.
Yeah, dude, seriously, you're the man. I'm glad I reached out to you, and you've been really, really helpful with everything for me and stuff. And
awesome.
We're going to try and play up your way, and we would love to have you at the show and come hang out.
Yeah, we're going to try to hook it up for you. So yeah, definitely.
Excellent. That would be fantastic, dude.
Yo, can I come on your show?
That's Tommy Two Streets.
Or can we, rather?
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was just about to say he has like horror people on, but I mean, we could talk horror, whatever you want to do, man.
We can figure something out out for sure.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep in touch, and we'll definitely get something figured out for you.
We absolutely will, Kevin. You're the shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this guy's the man. Make sure you go follow Wicked Horror Show, follow Black and White Fright. Actually, I got to talk to you about Black and White Fright. I know you got to go. I can't get it to load on my phone. It's just every episode has a problem. Have you heard that before yet, or no?
Yes, I'll mention it to Bill tonight. I'll yell at him about it. Okay. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Yeah. All right, man.
Have
a great night. Have a great show. Later, man.
See you, Kevin.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Dude, that was awesome. Kevin is the man.
Kevin rocks.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, great guy. Make sure you check out Wicked Horror Show, all of his podcasts, Black and White Fright, and Violence Buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excellent.
With that, we'll be right back.
Yeah. I want to talk about fucking nicknames.
And we're back.
I would love to talk about nicknames tonight.
Okay.
I like nicknames a lot. Obviously, I have a nickname. Everybody called me Fat Matt.
Matt, that's right. I just got one.
Tommy Two Streets.
Tommy Two Streets.
That is your fucking nickname for life.
I don't remember what it stems from.
Let me tell you what it stems from.
I used to be Tomcat.
You were Tomcat, yes, but Tommy Two Streets is way more fitting. So
like
one time, it was just you and me in the car. This was years ago. And my voice just cracked there, which is hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah. So you fucking looked at me dead serious. We were talking about graffiti, and you used to hang out with a lot of graph artists. Mm-hmm. And you go, Matt, I know graffiti. I'm from the streets. And I laughed so fucking hard. So I told my wife about that because we like to pretend one of our cats is like a tough guy because he was from the streets. And then my wife thinks it's funny to say Tom's also from the streets because even though you and I are both suburban neighborhood kids, I mean, we definitely had our moments where we were poor, but we didn't literally live on the streets.
I did not grow up on the streets.
Yes,
that is true.
But it's very funny.
But I'm still from the streets.
So now that you've said that, I think it's appropriate to call you Tommy Two Streets. And then I know you have a friend that calls you Tommy.
My boss called me Tommy unprovoked today, and I think it's sticking.
It is. I like it. You're just Tommy now.
Yeah,
because you've always been Tom.
Yeah, and
I like Tommy.
My dad, like I said before, my dad's Tommy. I love the ring to it.
Oh yeah, you like the ring to Tommy?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. My wife had called me Maddie
for
a long time because that's how we met in high school.
There's nothing wrong.
Her friend called me Maddie from when we were like little kids.
There's nothing wrong with her calling you that.
When she introduced my wife to me, she just called me Maddie for years, and then we were having sex, and she was going like, "Oh, Maddie," and I was like, "Hey, do you think that you could just call me Matt?" I didn't want to be Maddie anymore.
Not in the bedroom. There's nothing wrong with her calling you that, though. Sounds nice.
It's just not me. I'm not a Maddie.
It's just a little name.
Maddie is a guy who is stuck in the friend zone for a while. He's not very good at football, but he tries. He keeps trying for some reason. He's mostly the towel guy, I feel like. That's Maddie. Okay. But you never know.
It sounds like you met one.
I've known a couple Maddies in life.
Oh,
actually, you know what? I forgot. I met a really cool Maddie the other day, and he was not that type of guy. But other than that, most Maddies.
I know an awesome one.
Really?
Yeah. Sitting right across from him.
Get the funk out of my house. I feel like with your green spectacles.
No, I do know a really cool one, though, who trains like running and like triathlon shit like I do. He's cool.
I do that too.
Shout out, Maddie.
All right, Maddie. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong before. Not much, but I have been before.
Don't look now.
Super funny. But okay. But when people come into an establishment, so I used to cut hair at this place that was in a little bit of a lower part of Delaware where the people are just not as developed, I'll say.
I know exactly where you're talking about. Keep going.
And because you used to come to that shop and visit me.
Yep.
A guy used to come in there and he would tell everybody to call him Flash.
Okay.
I don't know why he just said, yeah, that's what everybody called me in the Air Force, Flash. And I'm like...
Can anybody verify that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think anyone ever called him that, but I think he always wanted to be known as that. Now, I'm a pretty fast runner for my age. I'm usually in the 13 minutes or so, 2 mile during the new PT test. The last one I got like 14 on the dot, maybe 14:05 or something, which it's still good if you see our new Army PT test. That's pretty good. Most people are running in the 17s or so.
The fastest mile I ever ran on a treadmill was 7 minutes 15 seconds. So
really,
14 minutes for 2 miles is pretty damn fast.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not. On the old PT test, I was usually in the later 12s or very low 13s.
Shit.
Yeah, but this new one really it fucking kills. We have I've explained it on the podcast before. It's very exhausting, this new PT test, but in a good way. In a good way. I think it's great that we're doing it. So anyway, this guy calls himself Flash, and I don't know if he's that fast or if he was that fast. He was older then, but he's got, I mean, that was 10 years ago.
So he's way older now.
Yeah, and I think he was one of those guys who had asked for the senior discount even though he wasn't a senior, but he looked old. And he was very particular about his hair, even though it was a shitty haircut. Like, it wasn't even a good haircut. I don't know, man. I'm so glad to be out of that business.
Fucking Flash.
I'm gonna have and I like. You ever hear that? Like, everybody just calls me Slim. You know, there's always a Slim. There's a Junior. Everybody got a Junior. Smitty. That's kind of like. I don't hear it as much anymore. I used to hear
the only Smitty I've ever heard of is an old fucking man.
Really?
So yeah,
I've known some Smitties that were younger.
That's gay. When I worked at Pep Boys a million years ago, my second job ever, one of the parts manager, or not parts, but there was a division for
I manage parts.
There was a division of parts for commercial accounts, and it was the commercial parts manager. They called me Slim, and it caught on for like 2 other people, and I was like, that's a strange name, but okay. And then as soon as I left that job, never heard it again. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very mechanics like nickname.
It was a car place.
Exactly.
So.
I've always heard it around mechanics.
Well, that I was not. I only worked at the parts counter.
I feel like I've heard Slim a bunch, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't. I can't think of any like generic name. I mean, everybody. There's nicknames for everything. Like we had that one buddy. He goes by Fats and stuff, which is like funny. Mm-hmm. But like there are some real generic.
That nickname had a legit origin story though.
Yeah, right.
So that was
he used
really
to be chubby.
Cool. Yeah.
I also used to be fat when I was like a little kid.
There you go.
And then I started working out. Yeah.
Nicknames.
Yeah. So what else you got on your mind, buddy?
I went to, Mel and myself, we went to a pizza place on Sunday called, I'm going to shout it out by name because it stunk.
Really?
1,000 degrees is what it's called.
Why? Do you want your pizza at 1,000 degrees?
I think that's just its name because if I had to guess, it's because they use not a wood fire oven, but like one of those round dome pizza ovens that gets really, really, really hot. So when I worked at the food place, we had a pizza oven too.
Yeah, and
it was only fueled by wood fire. We would have white.
That's cool.
We would have white oak, and we would literally throw the shit into the oven, into the back, and that's what powered the thing, was just wood fire. And that one got about 750 to like 800 degrees.
Okay.
And I didn't see wood fire in their oven, but I'm assuming that that's probably where the name comes from.
What was wrong with the pizza?
It was extremely mediocre, and it was
it didn't stunk,
and it was very expensive.
Oh,
I paid.
Was it in like the main line or? Oh no, it was in Maryland, wasn't it?
It was in Pike Creek.
What?
It's across the street from where Kmart used to be.
Yes, I know exactly where you're talking about because I go to that Chuck Lager all the time.
Yeah,
because I love Chuck Lager. They have a big pretzel that I get there all the time.
Yeah, so that pizza place fucking stinks. If you can avoid it, do. Go somewhere else because
What about the atmosphere?
That is exactly one of the things I wrote down, and I'll get to it.
Oh, I want to hear it.
The pizza was mediocre at best.
Okay.
The sauce was okay.
Okay.
The crust was very good, and cheese was sparse. I ordered a margarita.
Cheese was sparse. It's a pizza place.
Exactly. I ordered a margarita, and it's supposed to have hunks of fresh mozzarella around it.
Oh, a margarita pizza.
Yes.
I was like, you don't drink.
There wasn't enough of it. There was barely any basil on it, which is a fucking crime. Number one. So,
bro, I have a funny story.
It was a 14-inch pizza, which was actually more like 16. It was big.
Okay.
But it was $18. And I was expecting it to be really fucking good, and it wasn't. And Mel got wings, and she said they sucked. There was too much.
It was $18 for a 16-inch?
For a 14-inch pizza.
Oh my God. That's $1.50 per inch.
Yeah. It is.
I think I did the math wrong, but it's over $1 per inch.
It is exactly, let's see, 12 time. Nope.
No.
I'm not going to do it. I'm bored of this. So Mel got wings. They were very crispy, and there wasn't enough like wing to it. And she said they were very shitty. So the atmosphere of the place.
That's $1.29 per inch.
Sure. So the atmosphere of the place, it's one of these newfangled places that is like really modern looking inside.
Okay.
Like it's kind of industrial looking, kind of like, what are you checking?
I just want to make sure we don't go over because our memory card, remember?
Oh,
we're good.
We got time.
Okay.
We got
Sorry, I
plenty.
didn't mean to interrupt. That's why I was trying to do it quiet.
We got plenty. So it's really modern and kind of industrial looking inside with like the fucking...
Is it exposed ceilings?
Yes.
What is that? Everything is exposed ceilings now.
I don't mind that because I like a high ceiling, but it just kind of, in some places, it just kind of looks unfinished.
It looks unfinished.
What would you rather have, a fucking drop ceiling with the fucking the fucking shitty like
Fluorescent lighting? No, not while I'm eating pizza.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I mean a chandelier could be nice.
I don't mind the industrial look for something, but it's everywhere.
Everything has the industrial look now. We just went to a breakfast place recently, and I was like, really? In here? and like fake brick walls?
So what? They're
Place?
fucking...
I mean, it was good.
They're fucking gentrifying food places now.
Oh, most definitely. They sure are.
Well,
You
exactly
gotta
with
see.
this fucking...
You gotta see the ventilation system.
Exactly, with this fucking overpriced food.
In this economy?
It fucking stinks.
Man, that sucks. Pike Creek does have a lot of overpriced foods.
Yeah, avoid 1,000 degrees. It wasn't that good.
But go to Chuck Lager.
Yeah, I should have gone there or to Anthony's coal-fired pizza.
Bro,
right
Anthony's
up the street.
is so good.
I should have went there.
So I have a funny story about Anthony's. Were you done your story?
I was. Go on.
Okay. So one time I ordered a margarita pizza from Anthony's. Now,
So
for
good.
those of you who are not local to, I don't know if Anthony's is past the, like, is it? It's not just Delaware, right?
It's a chain.
It is a chain, but is it just East Coast, do you think?
Maybe.
Whatever.
Anyway.
So Anthony's coal-fired pizza is known for like burning the bottom of their pizzas, which is why everybody likes them. Like they're coal-fired, so they char. I would say they're very crispy, but they're good, and they make like really good like thin pizza. Well, when you order a margarita pizza, it's supposed to have little circles of cheese spread out, and then like basil, like Tommy was saying, or and some veggies or whatever. So I ordered it with arugula. I get up to go to the bathroom.
Arugula nearly killed her.
That's my fucking soundboard. So I get up to go to the bathroom. I come back, literally, like I thought they were playing a prank on me. I was with some friends, and I come back. It looks like Cousin It from the Addams Family made of arugula on top of this pizza. I started to laugh. I said, who the fuck did this? And they were like, no, that's like how it comes out. I don't know. Wow. It cracked me up so much. It was like, can I get some pizza with this arugula? Hey. Anyway, very funny. Very funny.
You know,
and, funny guys. That Anthony, he's a kidder.
Yeah. Thanks.
But it's really good. I mean, I love arugula, you know?
Well, while we're talking...
Do you have fucking Hubba Bubble gum? Did you just...
I sure do.
Why?
It's bubble tape, for your information.
Can I have some?
Of course.
Wait, no, because I'll be chewing on the microphone.
It's my favorite gum in the world. So,
God,
while we're talking about food, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Have you ever, number one, have you ever DoorDashed anything?
Yeah.
Have you ever DoorDashed a great meal?
DoorDashed a great meal.
Not a good meal, a great meal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like pho. I think we've gotten like really good pho DoorDashed.
It's pretty hard to fuck up pho, I guess. Anything else?
I feel like such a douche saying pho.
That's what it's fucking called.
I know, but it's spelled pho.
I understand that, but it's not English.
Well, it kind of is.
It's not.
PHO. Those are not Vietnamese letters. They're not Vietnamese characters.
This fucking guy.
Pho.
Aside from pho, what else have you DoorDashed? And was it great?
Yeah. I don't think I've had really any bad experience. I know like sometimes people are like missing fries and stuff.
I have never.
Have you had a bad meal from DoorDash? You sound like you got something on your mind.
I have never DoorDashed a great meal.
What do you consider a great meal? Because I'm not very picky.
Well, number one,
I drank that milkshake even though I'm lactose intolerant. Like I'm not very picky.
Clearly. And the way you raised your register when you said great means that you're lying.
I'm definitely not lying. That's just who I am. I'm Jerry Seinfeld in a 5'6" small man's body.
Who are these people? No, fucking I've never DoorDashed a great meal. I've always If I resort to DoorDash, it's out of desperation.
I don't understand. Do you think it's DoorDash that's making it not great? Like, you're ordering from a place that
Partly.
you like. Okay, why? How is DoorDash
only
making it
partly
worse? Okay.
because if you'll notice when you go into food establishments now and they're fucking slammed,
Yeah.
or if they're out of shit, it's because they're also making DoorDash orders, and
Yeah.
sometimes those are taking priority over people who are in the restaurant.
Okay.
In fact, one of my very favorite places does that a lot. Like, more than most of the food that they make goes to the DoorDashers.
Really?
And then the DoorDasher has to get the food and get to your place and then drop it off. I think I don't
COVID,
love,
man, it kind of bungled that whole thing.
it really did, but
Yeah.
I've never really loved delivery anyway.
I don't really either. I prefer to just go pick it up if I
It's-
can.
That's how I was raised. Like, my parents would be like, especially when we lived in the old neighborhood, and there was a speaking of pizza, there was a fucking awesome pizza place right on the corner of our neighborhood, 5-star. It's gone now.
Bro, I know. I miss five. You're
3-star is still there.
3-star still there, right?
They moved.
Your 5-star where Seasons is at now on the
Correct.
edge of your old neighborhood. Yes, there's a little mini Seasons over there.
Fucking,
See, and I love Seasons Pizza. Do you not love Seasons Pizza?
I got sound effects for Seasons Pizza. Fuck Seasons Pizza.
Bro, I love Seasons Pizza.
It is okay at best.
Then why fuck Seasons Pizza?
Because it is just okay. It should be better.
What should be better about it? What's
Everything.
What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza of
Yeah.
all time,
Yeah.
Little Vinny's across the street.
Little Vinny's is amazing.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's
you're
my
right about
favorite.
that. Little Vinny's is great. Have you had Charlie's in North Wilmington?
Yes, do not fuck with me on pizza. Anyway, Seasons can suck my
That
ass.
makes me want to fuck with you on pizza.
Anyway,
Go on.
when 5-star was there,
Yeah.
it was fucking slamming.
Yeah.
And because we lived so close, when I was young,
just walk there.
My parents would call in the order.
Yeah.
My parents would say, "Go pick it up," and I would walk my little ass a mile down the street,
Yeah.
if that,
Not even.
and back.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was way. Or no, I would skateboard because it was way faster.
I do that for Seasons because Seasons is on the edge of my neighborhood. And I love it. I walk there or skateboard there all the time and just go pick up my pizzas. They're great in there too. And they're cheaper than Domino's, and Domino's is right there too.
Domino's fucking stinks.
Yeah, Domino's does stink. They used to be pretty good. So my dad and his old roommate had a pizza shop back in the 90s.
I don't care what anybody fucking says. Domino's fucking stinks.
I liked Domino's. Do you remember when it used to be $5 Tuesdays? It was like 2 for Tuesday. You get
Something
two
like
pizzas for
that.
$5.
I remember.
God, used to live
I
off of
remember
that
when
shit.
they used the domino as a little dialer, and they played like the domino was a phone on the commercial. No, talk about your dad and his
No, just
pizza
that's
place.
it. So my dad had a roommate in the 90s, and him and the roommate ran this pizza shop called Ripe Tomatoes. There was one in Newark, one in Dover, and one right over the bridge in Jersey.
Wow, 3 of them.
Yeah, it blew up. It was so good. I mean, and it was a small, it started by this guy Paul who lived with us, and I remember being there, and I used to get to go make pizzas on the weekends and take them home. And God, that was the best pizza. It was his mom had taught him this recipe for tomato sauce, and it was incredible.
The sauce is everything,
It really was. And then he had a breadsticks recipe too that were my favorite breadsticks. And nothing has ever. Now I don't know if it's just nostalgia talking, but I really don't think so. I mean, this was really the best breadsticks I'd ever had. But Charlie's. So it's funny. I just brought up Charlie's in
Wilmington.
in North Wilmington. That pizza tasted as close to what I remember Ripe Tomatoes tasting like that I had in 25 years.
Jeez.
So I loved it, and their breadsticks are fantastic too. In fact, I will get pizza from there later this week, I think.
Pizza by Elizabeth's.
I've never had it from there.
It's very, very, very good.
Very expensive, right?
It's
in
worth
Greenville.
it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Okay.
It's no more than 1,000 fucking degrees.
That's crazy.
Pizza by Elizabeth's, Charlie's, and Little Vinny's are some of the best pizza I have ever had.
Okay.
And this is just our little local area, Delaware. I've been all over the country. I've had pizza everywhere I've been, practically.
Sure,
and
yeah.
some of the best I've ever had has been here.
Really?
Actually.
That's incredible.
Actually.
Yeah, I like New York pizza, definitely. I love going to New York and having New York pizza, but I would say Charlie's is very close. And Cafe Citadly is very good too, but I like tomato pie from them. Yeah. On that note,
that's all I had for.
once again, I want to thank Kevin Crook. You can follow him A Knuckle on Instagram, The Wicked Horror Show on Instagram. They do a live show every Tuesday on Facebook and YouTube, The Wicked Horror Show. He also has Black and White Fright, and the newest one is called Violence Buffet. Once again, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on. You're the man. Hopefully we get to hang with you again sometime.
No, we're gonna link all of your stuff in our bio. So
Yes.
if you're looking at this, if you're looking at your phone right now, you can open the Apple. I know this from Apple. You can open the app.
Yeah.
And you can just go right to the bottom.
The details, yeah.
Just right to the details.
I do it all the time.
And you can follow the links, and it's super fucking easy. I didn't even know that.
And once again, if you have any complaints or questions for us or any feedback, you can email us at ThankYouForUrServices@gmail.com. That is ThankYouForYour, spelled U-R, services@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at ThanksForYourServices_podcast.
That's right.
I know this was more of like a lighthearted episode. We didn't get into too much disaster stories, but stay strong out there. You definitely matter. Keep working hard, and hopefully people get less weird, but it seems like they're just getting fucking worse. So stay strong out there, and thank you for your services.
Thank you for your service.